My name is Brigadier Sher Khan. I'm an ex-Pakistani military officer. I performed as one of the best SSG commandos in Pakistani military history, a top-ranking guerrilla combat specialist. In my career, I witnessed many incidences and faced many challenges very bravely. But whenever I think about the horrific incident occurred on 4th of August 1988, it sends chills down my spine. I wish it was only a dream which I could wake up from and then forget. But it was not. It was the most terrorizing experience of my life, which haunts me even today. This story begins when I happily volunteered to be posted on Siachen Glacier, the highest and the most deadliest battleground of the world. It was 4th of August 1988. I came out of my camp at the Siachen Glacier. To climatize my body at the height of 5,400 meters, I had to walk to my camp for several days. But once I had arrived, it was like I had found heaven on earth. My camp was very close to Concordia. Concordia is the meeting place of Gordon Austin Glacier and the world's largest glacier outside the polar region, Baltoro, which is also called by the mountaineers the dying ground with 1,000 reasons of death. Some mountaineers also say those who go to Baltoro never come back. Around Concordia, there are 4 out of 14 highest mountain peaks of the world: K2, Broad Peak, Gasherbrum 1 and Gasherbrum 2. But what caught my attention were not these peaks. It was the most stunning and beautiful Chogoliza. I was totally lost in the extreme scenic beauty around me. Suddenly I heard a voice. "Sir, breakfast is ready." I had my breakfast with Fazlu. Afterwards, I went for patrolling. Fazlu also told me that the soldiers often get to see the brown bear, snow leopards, and markhors during patrolling. The day passed, and to catch up with my sleep, I went to bed early. During the night, suddenly something big fell on my tent, and it had woken me up. I looked at my watch. It was 11:30 p.m. Then I started hearing a voice, like someone was moaning in pain. I grabbed my rifle, and as I came out of my tent, I saw an Indian soldier, seriously wounded, trembling with fear. I took him inside the tent, and I asked him, "What's your name?" And he said, "My name is Jaswinder." His eyes had so much fear, it was like he had seen a ghost. I gave him some hot water to warm up his body, but I could clearly see his condition was very bad and he had very little time left. He was repeatedly saying only one thing: "The monster is here." Sadly, he passed away only a few minutes after I brought him inside the camp. I immediately informed the Siachen military base. They sent the dead body for the postmortem and informed the Indian counterpart. The postmortem report was not conclusive. However, it did say that it was some kind of animal attack, maybe from the snow leopard or brown bear. And in panic, the Indian soldier lost his way and entered into the Pakistani territory. To discuss the matter, senior level military leadership from both Indian and Pakistan side conducted a meeting. Both sides agreed to to launch a thorough investigation and make a team of high-level professionals for fact-finding mission. They called it Operation White Phantom. In the final team, there were 3 people from Pakistan. Myself, Captain Siachen as military lead, Captain Atif as expert investigator, Abdul Rahman as expert snow tracker. From India, there were 2 people, Captain Ranjit Singh as military lead and Captain Arun as military doctor. From USA, Julia McNamara as zoologist. Julia had wide expertise on bear and big cat behavior. From China, it was Zen Choi. Zen was orologist with massive experience of mountain environment, particularly the snow conditions. To catch the maximum daylight, the team was ready at dawn. I made sure that every team member has a rifle, a pistol, a hunting dagger, and a bear spray. Every team member was given the responsibility to make sure that all these 4 items were in the working condition. Carrying untested, faulty items could put the whole mission into jeopardy. Captain Arun said to Julia, "Hey Julia, stay close to me, just in case a bear attacks." Captain Ranjit looked at me with a smiley face and winked, and I thought, the mission hasn't started yet, but the flirt has. The team started tracking from the Pakistani camp where Jaswinder, the Indian soldier, was found. After a few hours of walking towards the Indian border, where we were expecting Jaswinder would have come from, Abdul Rahman, the expert snow tracker, found some footsteps, which were likely to be of Jaswinder. After walking for 2 days towards the Indian border, we had arrived close to Jaswinder's patrolling truck. The camp of Jaswinder was also a few miles away. But the key observation was that Jaswinder, instead of running towards his camp, he ran towards opposite direction and entered into Pakistani territory. And the creature which was chasing Jaswinder also crossed the Pakistani-Indian border. I asked Zen Choi if there was any possibility we could find footsteps of either the creature or Jaswinder, although nearly 3 days had passed. Zen Choi said that it was nearly impossible to find any footsteps. However, we could find animal poo or animal hair, and that was something which we could try for. Arun had been flirting with Julia all through the journey, and Julia was nearly on the edge with him, but who could stop Arun? He said to Julia, "Julia, if you have only 2 bullets left and a bear attacks you, what would you do?" Julia replied quite agitatedly, "I'll shoot the bear with 1 bullet, and then I'll shoot you with the other." On day 4 and 5, the team walked back towards the Pakistani camp where Jaswinder was found, but used a different route to see if they could search anything and get answers of the questions in our minds. On day 6, after traveling several hours, we were nearly a mile away from the Pakistani camp. The sun was about to go down. Suddenly, Abdurrahman started shouting as if he has found something. We all ran towards Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman showed us an Indian military cap which had some animal hair stuck on it. Captain Ranjit Singh looked at the cap and confirmed that it was Jaswinder's cap. I asked Julia to examine the hair and if she could confirm if it's bear's hair. After brief examination, Julia shocked me by saying that although the hair was similar to bear's hair, but it was not of bear, and the smell coming from the hair was definitely not bear's smell. Captain Atif said maybe it was a Bigfoot. Then Zenchoy said, "Come on Atif, you must be joking. Bigfoot is just a mythical creature. It doesn't exist in reality." As we did not have any daylight left, Captain Ranjit Singh and I decided to call it a day and camp there. Around 3 a.m., I woke up for Tahajjud prayer. As I completed my prayer, I heard a growling sound. I assumed that it must be a bear, and it came close to our tent because of the food smell. Then suddenly, I heard a very loud scream. It was Zenchoy. Everybody woke up. I grabbed my gun and I came out of my camp. It was very cloudy that night. Therefore, the visibility was very poor. I could hardly see anything. Then Julia came running towards me, and in a very trembling voice, she said, "Zenchoy is gone. Zenchoy is gone." And I asked her, "Have you heard anything? Have you seen anything? Has some animal taken her?" And she said, "No, I was fast asleep. I woke up from her scream, and then she disappeared. I don't know what happened." Captain Ranjit Singh and I decided that we should all go in different directions to search for her, but don't go too far because there are crevices and it's dark, and if anyone slips in the crevice, could surely face death. For nearly 1 hour, the whole team searched for Zenchoy, but with very poor visibility and darkness, we could hardly find anything. I requested everyone to go back to their camps and complete their rest. Early in the morning, we will start an organized, well-planned search for Zenchoy. Next day, we started the search for Zenchoy. The whole team was very sad and worried. I heard Abdurrahman calling everyone. It seemed he had found something. What I saw totally bamboozled my mind. It was a 13-inch long footstep and 7-inch wide. Captain Ranjit Singh looked at me and said, "We are fighting the unknown. We don't know its speed, its power, its attacking and fighting style. We actually know nothing about this creature." We decided to follow the footsteps, and we had to be quick, because if Zenchoy was still alive, we could save her life. After several hours of walking, the footsteps took us to Baltoro Glacier. It was nearly 11:30 a.m. We had a bright, clear day with sun shining on our head, melting the ice of Baltoro Glacier and creating torrents. Some of the torrents were very icy and aggressive. We had no choice but to go through the torrents, and we knew to come out on the other side of the torrent alive, one needs to cross it within 5 seconds. Otherwise, the extremely cold, icy water freezes the body and drowns it. And then the moment came when we had to cross one. Everybody successfully crossed the torrent. Arun was last to cross it. He was a bit hesitant. As he entered in the torrent and reached at the middle point, he panicked and his body started freezing. Captain Atif started shouting at him, "Arun, you have to be quick. You need to start walking right now. Arun, you can do it." "I can't move my legs. My legs are frozen. I can't walk anymore," Arun said in a very quavering voice. Captain Atif, who had just come out of the freezing water, ran back into it to save the life of Arun. He took Arun on his shoulders and started rushing back towards the bank. As Captain Ranjit Singh grabbed Arun's arm to pull him out, Captain Atif slipped because under the cold freezing water was icy surface. His head hit a big stone on the bank. Being in the freezing water with severe head injury, he died instantly and his body started floating on the icy water of the torrent. And the water was flowing so fast, his body disappeared within a few seconds. Captain Ranjit Singh looked at me and said, "Indian military would never forget the sacrifice of Captain Atif." Zenchoy was missing. Captain Atif had died. The team had to carry on. We crossed one torrent after another and kept on walking on the most dangerous surface on the planet Earth, Baltoro. It was day 8. Abdur Rahman was very emotional. "Sir, I would not go back home until I find this creature," Abdur Rahman said to me in a very confident tone. He was full of energy and walking very fast. He was almost over 100 yards ahead of us. Around 3:30 p.m., we heard a very loud growling sound. It came where Abdur Rahman was. As we arrived at that spot, we saw Abdur Rahman's body was covered all in blood and he was very seriously injured. I asked Abdur Rahman, "What happened? Who did this to you?" While lying on the ground, Abdur Rahman raised his arm and pointed his finger towards a cave which was nearly 75 yards from us. Then Abdur Rahman closed his eyes. He was no more. As it was getting dark, Ranjit Singh and I decided to camp there, spend the night, and the next day we planned to investigate the cave. But we did not know that that night was going to be so horrific. After having dinner, we all went to bed. I instructed all team members very strictly, if they had to come out for pee during the night, they must carry their weapons with them. We also decided that we should all sleep in one camp that night. The sky was clear. It was 12th day of moon. We had some visibility because of the moonlight. Around 2 a.m., Arun came out from his sleeping bag. He wanted to go out and pee. As Arun stepped out of the camp, I strengthened my grip on my rifle for any possible attack. The whole environment was very silent. Suddenly, Arun started screaming very loud, "Monster! Monster! Please come out! This monster!" Julia, Captain Ranjit Singh, and I immediately came out of the camp, and what we saw was unbelievable. There was a huge 10 feet tall creature standing at around 20-meter distance. It was like half human, half gorilla. He had long hair all over his body and face, and he was looking straight at us. Captain Ranjit Singh and I started firing in the air as warning shots. The creature ran towards the cave and disappeared. I asked Julia if she had any idea what that creature was. Julia was in total shock and she remained silent. Arun said, maybe Captain Atif was right. This is the Bigfoot of Baltoro. Instead of going back to our camps, we decided to go inside the cave. As we entered in the cave, we turned our torches on. Captain Ranjit Singh and I were leading the team. It was like we were inside a lion's den. Almost 10 meters inside the cave, we found the dead body of Zen Choi. Her body was in a very bad condition and half naked. I took my jacket off and put it on her to cover her body. As we walked further inside the cave for nearly 10 to 15 meters, we heard a loud growl. A huge Bigfoot was standing right in front of Captain Ranjit Singh. Although Captain Ranjit Singh had a gun, but the distance was so close he could not open fire. And we were standing right behind Captain Ranjit Singh. The whole scene was so horrifying. Julia started screaming very loud. And then, what we never expected happened. Another Bigfoot appeared. Captain Arun got so scared, he turned into a statue. Captain Ranjit Singh asked me to take Julia and Captain Arun out of the cave to a safe distance, whilst he would try to stop the Bigfoots chasing and attacking us. I can't leave you alone here. You can't fight them on your own, I said to Captain Ranjit Singh. You have to go. You have to go now. Captain Arun and Julia are your responsibility. I took Julia and Captain Arun with me and started rushing out of the cave. Once outside the cave, I asked them to just keep on moving and go as far as possible from this cave. Captain Arun said to me, "Are you not coming with us? A Pakistani SSG commando is trained to see the devil in the eye. We can die, but we never retreat from any battleground." I said that and started running inside the cave to join Ranjit Singh. When I got to the spot, I saw the Bigfoot had lifted Ranjit Singh up in the air. Ranjit Singh was a big man, nearly 6'6" tall, 110 kgs of pure muscle. To lift a massive body of Ranjit Singh up in the air like that, the creature needed to have power of at least 2 lions. For some reason, the other Bigfoot had disappeared. I took my hunting dagger out and entered the whole blade into the right thigh of the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot released Ranjit Singh instantly. Ranjit Singh took his pistol out and shot at the Bigfoot, which hit on his shoulder. The Bigfoot fell down and I grabbed a big rock with my both hands and lifted it up to strike the head of the Bigfoot. Right at that moment, I heard a growling sound. I dropped the rock and I aimed the light of my torch towards the corners of the cave. And what I saw was the other Bigfoot, sitting in the dark corner of the cave, milk feeding her baby. I looked at Ranjit Singh and he agreed with me that we should leave them alone. Baltoro was their home, not ours. Our presence in those mountains threatened them, and they were only trying to protect themselves. Ranjit Singh was injured. I took him out of the cave. At some distance, we saw Captain Arun and Julia waiting for us. We all returned to our military bases. Captain Ranjit Singh and I submitted a detailed investigation report on the incident. Captain Atif was given the top award for gallantry, both in Pakistan and India. Abdul Rahman and Zen Choi also received top awards for their best services. Captain Arun married Julia and moved with her to USA. Captain Ranjit Singh progressed to the rank of a brigadier. He now lives in Jalandhar with his children and grandchildren. I'm spending the years of my retirement with my wife in a beautiful cottage located in the hilly areas of Sakardu. And sometimes when I talk to Brigadier Ranjit Singh, we remember the legend of the highest mountains of the world, the Bigfoot of Baltoro. I hope that you liked this video. Please leave your opinion in the comment box. It would help us improve the standard of our videos. To get notified about our exciting new videos, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon button. Thank you.